Hey, as a home buyer or seller, what in the world is an appraisal and what does it mean to you? Let's check it out. Hey everybody, Sean, Backpack Broker here. Welcome to another episode of the 320. Today we are talking appraisals. Like, what is an appraisal? What does it mean to you? Is it even important that you understand this? Well, I brought in an absolute expert in appraisals. Actually, he's also a real estate agent from Maverick Group out there in Enumclaw. He's an amazing real estate agent, but also amazing realtor and a friend of mine. So, hey, Aaron Bird, welcome to the 320. How are you today?
Hey, good.
Good. Say, hey, listen. First question, right off the top of our heads, this is like our second run at this question, so we're gonna nail it this time. So we had a little technical difficulties earlier, so there's a second time to get after this one. What is an appraisal? Why does a home buyer or a seller even care?
That's a good question. If you're selling your house, you want and believe it is worth more than anything in the world, right?
Right.
Everybody jokes that the home seller thinks it's like a castle, right? Well, the appraiser thinks it's a shack,
right?
Right. But so really, there's four people involved in the transaction.
The appraisal is kind of like the equalizer. Is that a safe number? Is that a?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we're the cleaner, right?
Right.
So you've got a buyer,
right?
Wants it to be worth as little as possible. You got their agent advocating for them,
right?
You've got your seller thinks it's worth a huge amount of money, more than it's really worth most of the time. Then you got their agent trying to manage that, but you have two agents an agent on either side, and both of them get paid commission,
right?
So there's everybody's got an incentive for the value that works for them and for their client or their interests. And so the bank wants somebody to come in and say, okay, third party, no advocacy, no interest in the property. What's it worth? And besides, if you're buying the property, you're maybe putting 5, 10, 15% down most of the time. And then there's the larger numbers. But as long as the bank is loaning you any money at all, they're putting their money on the table. It's their home, really. If you look at the contracts, technically their home till you pay it off. Yeah. They can take it back. So they want to make sure they're not overpaying.
Right.
They don't care about your feelings.
Right. So now when you go into an appraisal, like what are you looking for? Like what are the things that kind of like that make you, just from another guy who comes in and it's like, yeah, this house is worth this, doing like a CMA. What you're being obviously a lot more specific when it actually comes to an appraisal of a property.
Oh yeah, it's a lot more detail. I will do a CMA for my real estate clients all day long. Yeah. I still have the appraisal mind, but the depth of research that you do and the analysis is not always the same.
Right.
You know that when you know the difference when you're doing a CMA for a client who just kind of wants to check up on their value rate.
Out there really quick, CMA, that's real estate speak. That's the market analysis. That's what we as agents do to kind of give you an a market number, not an appraisal, and a market number. So just so we're clear on that, the CMA, let's talk a little bit the difference between CMA and an appraisal. I just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, exactly. It's just what's your house worth and with some proof. Right. Yeah. Now, appraisal is just a really big version of that. A lot more involved. A lot of legal ramifications if you're way off too.
Oh, wow.
The other thing about an appraisal is the education to get the appraisals, minimum 2 years in Washington. I think it's 2,500 hours or 2,000 hours of actually working in the business. It's honestly a way harder test.
Wow.
Really? So
this just got personal. Okay.
Not that we're better than you or anything. We are.
Well, you're both, so you're okay. You're. I get it.
I'm the greatest. Okay.
Right.
So
it's true.
But it's true that I started as an appraiser, and to get that was a lot of hard work, a lot of effort. And if you quit it, you have to start all over again. If you're an agent, you let your license lapse. It's 120 hours of class that you can semi-pay attention to and pass the test.
Wow. Okay.
There is a difference between
who you are. Never mind. Okay. So again, what is an appraiser looking for?
Okay. Let me clarify.
Real estate agents right now are just like.
Okay, I'm gonna make the agents love me again. Okay. Anybody can become an agent, but not anyone can become a professional agent who's qualified and educated and good at their job.
That was a great save. Great save. That was good. Super good. Okay, so back to specifically you're looking for, so the difference between the market analysis, which is just a general overview, you're coming in and we're talking about the bones. We're talking about what this property
okay.
Yeah,
well, and also those market analysis that your agent gives you, there are no rules. They can pick, let's say you have a 1-story plus basement house, daylight basement.
Right, right,
They can go ahead and pick a 2-story house in the same neighborhood, and
right,
they can do whatever they want and then justify and tell you, here's why I think this affects your
right,
house.
right,
An appraiser has to prove to a lender who's lending millions of dollars to lots of different people,
right,
they have to prove that this is a comparable
right,
property. And
right,
so we have parameters that our box is like this,
right.
and agent box is like this. And I do the same thing as an agent.
Sure.
When I do a market analysis for a client, just for a checkup, I'm fine doing the bigger box,
Right.
right? But if we're going to
Smaller.
list their house, you naturally shrink that because
Right.
the appraiser is going to be working in a smaller box. The agent will also shrink their box if they're paying attention to
Got it.
that.
So tell me why you won't accept a water bottle at an appraisal appointment.
Oh, yeah. Okay. An appraiser is not allowed to be an advocate for any party.
Right.
We also are
Makes
not
sense.
allowed to be influenced by anybody.
Right.
And let's say you leave me a $20,000 watch on the counter and say, thanks for doing a great job on the appraisal.
Right.
Well, there could be a perceived bias in my valuation there, right? Maybe worth 20,000.
Sure.
So I I determined right from the very beginning, I was never going to accept anything from anyone.
Right.
And on a hot summer day, I got a jug of water in a cooler I bring with me. Somebody offers
You're
me
good.
water, I say no
Right.
thanks.
You're good. So
I figure if you take nothing from anyone, then you're better off.
right. Okay. So now what, so from a buyer seller perspective, is there anything that they should do when getting ready to have an appraisal? I mean, obviously, I guess we'd be talking about mostly the seller in that situation. Is there anything a
Yeah.
seller should do or can do that helps that appraisal process? I mean, is it? I'll tell you one time, a crazy story. I had an appraisal that I did on a property, and literally the appraiser was taking the interior photos, and I mean the kitchen the dishwasher was like wide open with the dishes. I was like, here's the kitchen.
Yeah.
Kitchen was just trashed. I mean, it was just like so much stuff everywhere. There was stuff all over the furniture, but he was just taking interior photos. I mean, at the end of the day, he justified the value of the property despite of what
Yeah.
it looked like. But I mean, I guess does it really not matter?
That's also a really good question. So I get that one a lot. And once you've sold your house and you're under contract, you've probably done all the repairs and things you're going to do anyway.
Right.
So the big stuff's already done.
Right.
The question really people are asking is there anything I could do to make my house worth more really super fast?
Right.
Right. Without actually doing anything. So what I say is clean your house.
Sure.
I'm still a human, right? And well, especially if you have a house that there's some issues that need to be repaired and you're aware of that,
Right.
if it also looks like crap,
Right.
then there's,
Grab a vacuum.
let's just say it leaves an impression,
Sure.
but really ultimately we are trained to look past that.
Sure.
Because
Right, of
anybody's house can be a disaster on any
Right.
given day, depending on what's going on. Moving is a big thing,
Sure.
right? So
It is.
it's a lot of
No, it
stress.
is. It's true.
We are trained. So there's two things. When you're walking through that house to buy it with your real estate agent, you're feeling a lot, right?
Right.
You're imagining a life here. You're
Yeah.
looking, does my couch fit here? Which way does the sun hit through the lights?
Right.
And
Right.
all these different things. You're feeling, right?
Yeah.
Well, the appraiser doesn't look at those things.
Right.
We look at the structure, the integrity of it, the condition, the upgrades. We're walking through, and our job is to not feel. Like, for example,
Right.
if I say you've got a partial mountain view. No, okay, let's say you have a full view of Mount Rainier.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to say you have an expansive, beautiful view in my appraisal.
Right.
But you're going to in your marketing remarks, right?
Right.
I'm going to say full view of the mountain, and I'm
Right.
going to take a picture of it to prove it.
Right.
That's all there.
So you're
But yeah.
validating said view.
Please don't make me step on dog poop.
Right. That's
please.
fair. That's fair. This has probably been the most interesting conversation I have had. I love it. No, that's what I love about you too. It's absolutely amazing. So, okay. Well, I mean, closing remarks here. I mean, so where can, if people want to just, if they just need an appraisal on their home, they just say, I want to know what my home's appraised for. Where do people find you?
Well, I'd say if they're watching this video, then they need to be looking to you as a knowledgeable realtor with
I
all the
agree.
different people all the pieces they need for home ownership.
Yeah.
They should be coming to you, and you should have those resources. And so if you're thinking about somebody who needs a probate, whether it's a divorce, unfortunately, or any other type of reason someone would need a private appraisal, not for purchase,
Right.
just call Sean.
There you
And
go.
he's got my number.
Yeah. Would you say expansively knowledgeable? That's what I would say in my remarks. Expansive, a full view of the knowledge. A full, and you know.
I would say your knowledge is expansive,
Expansive.
to the degree that you listen to me. All right.
Bro, I have loved this. This has been a great little short time. This is probably the funniest episode of 320 we've had to date. So, hey, if you are in Maple Valley, Black Diamond, and any of the surrounding areas from the Enumclaw to the Issaquah, please check out the 320 Real Backpack Broker on all the socials. Find Eric, the Maverick Real Estate Group. And also, don't forget to check out that YouTube channel link in below. We will see you next week.